hope you learn some things in these videos because it is the most awkward thing to film in the shower. How do we like day 3 hair? Today I'm gonna be sharing my hair care routine. Lately I've been talking to a lot of hair and scalp experts. We have a video coming up very soon which is even more insightful, and it's given me a lot of new insights, especially in the shower, blow drying, and general everyday styling tips. Ding! Especially those of you who have oily scalp, who might have dandruff, because I've learned some things. So I thought today I would take you into the shower again and I'll share everything that I've changed that has made a significant difference to my scalp. So normally before the shower, and if my hair is like super greasy, I actually really love brushing it through with a paddle brush. And also just brushing your hair helps to distribute the oils. What this is also good for is it will brush out any of the dead hair that's stuck on the scalp, so that by the time we're in the shower, we're not gonna be pulling out so many strands of hair. And like, some of you might think that, oh my god, I'm losing so much hair, especially if it's like you haven't washed your hair for a few days, but actually that's just the accumulation of dead hair that hasn't fallen out in the previous days that just make it seem as though you have like a whole chunk of hair. So now let's pop into the shower. Double cleansing as my shampoo step has, I think, literally been the game changer of how healthy my scalp and my hair has been, and how many days that I can go without washing my hair while still feeling comfortable and without wanting to like rip my whole scalp apart. I've been using these two as my first shampoo cleanse. The Necessaire, the shampoo. This is just kind of like a no frills, fragrance free. Another one is the low pH scalp shampoo. I'm almost done with this one. And this one's also really cool because you can use it for your like body as well. It's multi-purpose. So both of these are great. Today I'll use this one. So basically I lather it up just so it foams a little bit and start working it to the sides here and the back. So you want to like use your fingers and really get up in there. Don't be afraid to be kind of like firm with it. When I used to wash my hair, I was being so light that it actually wasn't taking away all the dead skin, the oils, and especially, you know, the things like dry shampoo. And it severely clogged my hair follicle to the point that I was losing hair and my follicle was no longer generating, like producing hair. And one of the scariest things that the Dr. Scalp lady told me, as soon as your hair follicle dies or it no longer produces a hair, you can't revive that follicle anymore. So that follicle will never generate more hair anymore. And another thing that I realized is I used to have a lot of like itchiness and flakiness towards the crown here, and it was because I never used to really concentrate my shampoo all the way in here, and I didn't used to concentrate on the back towards the nape of the neck, but now I do, and there's like no more irritation. So literally the irritation is for me like a sign that I wasn't cleansing enough. So as you can see, this first cleanse just really doesn't foam up all that much because it's dissolved your 3 days worth of hair oil. So now, once you've really worked it in there, we're gonna wash it off. So almost like you're washing your face, I like to emulsify it a little bit. Work in a little bit of water just so it like spreads, and then wash it all up. Okay. So now the second cleanse, really important. If you're not already doing this, you guys have to. It will really help with hair fallout. I've been using this brand, it's called Rio, and I swear to you, this shampoo is like game changing. It's actually really affordable. You can get it on Amazon and there's a bunch of different types. I think as soon as I started using this, my hair loss and just the health of my scalp was like immensely improved. I either go in with that or the Acton Acre cold press hair cleanse. For the second cleanse, you want a shampoo that's more like nutrient focused, whereas the first shampoo cleanse, I'll just use any basic shampoo. This Rio one, it has ginseng extract. It smells really nice. The second cleanse will foam up so much quicker and so fast because the hair is now clean, and now the shampoo can actually lather because it's not busy dissolving all your hair sebum. See, you can see it is so much more foamy. Now, my tip is actually to get one of these like scalp massages. So this one's from Vegamore. This one's, I think, Saturday Skin. And what I like doing is going around and circling each area just to make sure the scalp is really cleansed while giving myself a massage. And there's different acupuncture points all over your scalp. I mean, it's like all over our bodies, but we forget that our scalp is also, it needs oxygen, it needs blood flow. And sometimes when your hair is falling out, it's because there's a lack of circulation. And so you really just want to stimulate it. Okay, so really get it up in there. And remember, shampooing is all about the scalp. You don't need to worry about the rest of your hair because when you rinse this out, naturally the shampoo will run down and wash it. Just so you know, when I film these in the shower, just so the lens doesn't fog up, I have to use like coldish water. So I'm like Wim Hofing this. Now, before I move on to my conditioner, I just want to show you guys this. This is the Way Detox Shampoo. So if you guys are one of those people that can go like 4 or 5 days without showering, I would highly recommend you try this because like the name suggests, it is truly detoxing. It leaves your hair really like squeaky clean. And normally I wouldn't say I like the feeling of that, but on days that you haven't washed your hair for like a week, you really need a deep clean. I will say it is very fragranced, but like the fragrance smells really good. It's so good. It leaves your hair perfumed almost, so if you're not into that, maybe not. Out of all the shampoos I've ever used, that one leaves it literally so clean, almost to the point where I find it hard to run my fingers through my hair. I'm actually quite picky when it comes to shampoo because I don't like it too thick, but I also don't like really clean ones where it feels like my hair isn't being nourished. So I use these two. One is the Necessaire conditioner, which I like. Once again, no frills. Sometimes I want something more, and I'm almost done with this. This is in the same like line, the Hair Loss Treatment Deep Nutrition, because I just really love the smell. But like, for example, the Acton Acre Pressed Hair Conditioner, I feel like this is better for people with a bit more finer hair because it's not like thick enough for my kind of medium to coat it in a nice like luxurious kind of conditioning. No. Love this ASMR. Conditioner, maybe we'll even mix it, you know what I mean? Ding, ding, ding. So with the conditioner, if you have oily scalp, I don't even think anyone should be conditioning up to their roots, but especially if you have oily hair, you don't want to go anywhere near your scalp because what dandruff and the bacteria on our scalp loves is oils. So we naturally produce our own oils, but also conditioners contain emollients and oils, right? Because it needs to nourish it. So if you already have like very irritated and oily scalp, you don't want to feed that bacteria more. And this is also where I love to just comb through with my fingers and take out the hair that's left, you know, on my head, just so I can catch it before it falls in the drain. It's very normal to lose up to 100 a day. And so if you haven't been showering for 3 or 4 days, like it's okay to lose 400 hairs, you know what I mean? And because of that, it will look like a lot, but you're fine. So this is also where you can go in with like a hair mask. But yes, now I would just go on to wash my body and my hair. And I know it's not related, but this is my favorite that I've gone through bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles of because I love it's the L'Occitane Shower Oil Almond Oil. Love the almond range. And then after it's all rinsed out, I also like to just kind of like wash my back. Sometimes you don't realize, but it leaves, you know, like a slimy film on your back. I get acne like leading up to my period, but if it's not your period and you're breaking out, it could be because of the conditioner. Just like kind of be like an ape. Be mindful of that area so that it's not slimy. Okay guys, oops, I forgot not to have hot water. Okay, now we're golden. Let's go out and talk about volumizing and hair drying tips. I always wrap my hair in these hair towels. It just keeps your hair out of your face while you're doing skincare. And then on top of that, it's also absorbing the water from your hair as you're doing it. Squeeze dry. So now scalp and hair prep. There's many different serum options. I've just been using these two. One is the cold pressed stem cell serum. If you're looking for like hair growth and things like that, there's the Vegamore Grow hair serum. So whichever one that you choose to use, basically a hair serum is just a really lightweight serum that you pump on to areas that you want to help hair growth. And if I'm styling and I know I don't want to wash my hair for a bit, I like going in with this Saja Juan Ocean Mist, and I like spraying that into the roots because what this does is actually give my hair a little bit more grit and texture when it's dry. Normally my hair just falls flat. It has no volume, it has no structure, and the Ocean Mist just gives it that natural volume without feeling sticky or anything. Then for the ends, if you style it, a heat protectant, I use this one. It's the Lolavi Glossing Detangler because it primes, it softens. It is almost like a heat protectant as well. Every time I shower, I will blow dry it. And some people, I've even said, try to avoid heat when you can. But the thing is, after talking to all the hair and the scalp and skin experts, I know my scalp cannot take being in a damp and moist environment because that's actually what breeds the seborrheic dermatitis, the irritation, the flakiness, the itchiness. So what I do now is blow dry my roots dry and then go to bed or go out or whatever it is. Let's start my volumizing tip. So the first one actually starts with hair drying. Blow dry your hair upside down. You'll kind of like set the hair and the follicle in place. Basically, if you blow dry your hair the opposite direction of the way it lays, it will naturally create volume. Versus if you were just to like have your parting and this kind of like go down like this, that'll essentially further flatten your hair. Oh, and another thing, I only concentrated on the roots or like the scalp area. And so we're really just focusing on keeping the scalp not damp. Now we can tip upside down to finish the last 20 to 30% of our blow drying. At the end, I'm actually gonna shoot it with the cold as we're doing it upside down because I feel like it just locks that volume in place. Cold air is also really good because it doesn't leave the hair hot and damp, and that's just a situation that we don't want if you have irritated scalp, itchy scalp, and hair loss. And you can see which areas still need a little bit of drying. So as you can see, the hair just falls nicely towards the front of the face like this. Second tip is these. So these are Velcro rollers. I got these on Amazon. They're super inexpensive and you can get them in all different sizes. So you want to get the bigger ones if your hair is a little bit longer, but also if you want more of those like blowout kind of waves. So what I like to do now is go through the areas that I want a little bit more definition and volume, and I'll pop a roller in because what this does is set the hair to fully dry like that. I'm not gonna do my whole head, but it's just the areas that count is the crown. So the crown is basically the diagonal top of your head, and I just lack a lot of volume there. Go all the way to the end and then roll it back in. Another one is here, the second half of the back of the head. You don't want it to like lie like this, because then this is flat. The whole point is that we get lift at the root, and so tuck it in there and lift it up. If you're gonna buy these, you're probably gonna get a bunch of them. So what you can do is concentrate around the face, because I feel like it gives the most impact. Ding. Okay, so I did half my head. And by no means am I a professional. It's been about 10-15 minutes. So I'm gonna take this off and show you guys what it looks like. So you just like unravel it. Can you see this difference? Ideally, you would curl the ends, but what it does is it just gives you so much lift and so much body. Like, look how pretty this curl is. It's not going to give you curls per se, because you need kind of like a curling iron for that, but it is going to give you lift and volume. So as you can see, this side has movement and dimension, while as this is just my normal kind of like stick straight hair. Next tip is actually using a hair straightener. So say this is your normal flat hair. What you want to do is section off this top area, put that over on this side, take a piece, curl it around, just that area. And can you see it creates this like volume bump? I just want to do that with the root area underneath. And if you want even more body, you can flip over and do that to like the under layers. So you just pretty much bend it maybe like 180 degrees or like 90 degrees. So can you see there's like, you've basically made volume for yourself. Now you actually have volume that comes out, giving you more of this like voluminous hair look. This honestly works anywhere. If you want a little bit of lift, lightly curl over and it will give you instant volume. Be careful not to hold it too long, otherwise it will be like kind of crazy. And then I like to kind of curl the ends like that, but that's not related to volume, it's just what I like to do. So I just kind of went through and evened out my hair a little on both sides. The last tip I have is actually this. This is the Orbe texturizing spray, and I've never been able to find anything that compares to this. Grab the mid-lengths, shoot it in, and it literally gives you that like bombshell, airy, effortless look. And especially for the days that you have super clean hair, where you curl it and the curls fall out, or you style it and it just doesn't seem to stay. It gives so much volume where you push it up and it stays there. Do you see that? But honestly, I think my biggest tip is if you wash your hair, you're like shampooing it right, it naturally gives your hair that lift. The first time that I really got a good cleanse at Dr. Scalp, my hair was like so voluminous. Your hair care routine is super important. I hope you guys learned a bunch. Let me know what else you want to see. Hair